All right, let's talk about something you're almost guaranteed to hear in any agile job interview: Scrum Velocity. If you want to walk in there feeling confident and ready to nail the answer, you're in the right place. We're going to break it all down.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. If the interviewer asks, so what is velocity? This is your killer 30-second answer. It's the average amount of work a team gets done. It's based on history, what they've actually done, and it's for forecasting. And maybe the most important part, it belongs to the team and it is absolutely not a performance metric. You get those key points down and you're already golden.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the basics, then get into why it's such a big deal. We'll walk through the super simple math behind it, cover the absolute must-know rules, and then, my favorite part, we'll get you prepped for those tough questions that really separate the pros from the rookies.
All right, let's dive in. First up, what is Scrum Velocity when you strip it all down to its core?
Think of this as the DNA of velocity. First, it is a team-level metric. It belongs to the group, not any single person. It's also empirical, which is just a fancy way of saying it's based on real data, on what the team has actually done in the past. We only ever count work that is 100% done. And its whole purpose, its reason for being, is to help with forecasting, not for judging people. Seriously, that last point is the one you have to remember.
So now we know what it is, but why should you care? Why does it even matter? Well, this one little number has a ton of power when it comes to bringing clarity to a team's planning.
First off, sprint planning. The easiest way to think about velocity is that it's like the team's appetite. You know, if a team consistently eats or completes about 30 story points of work a sprint, that gives them a really good idea of how much to bite off for the next one. It totally replaces guesswork with actual data. Next up, we've got release forecasting. Now, this is where velocity becomes a huge help for stakeholders. I mean, if you've got a backlog with 150 story points worth of stuff, and you know your team's average velocity is 30, well, you can do the math. You can forecast that it's probably going to take about 5 sprints. All of a sudden, that giant to-do list becomes a real, tangible timeline.
And really, all of this, it all leads to the holy grail, predictability. When you see a stable velocity, that's the sign of a consistent, healthy team. And that consistency? It builds trust with everyone, and it makes your plans way more accurate. It's just a key sign of a mature team that gets it.
Okay, you might be thinking, this sounds a little complex, but I promise you, the math is about as simple as it gets. Let's walk through exactly how you calculate it, and then put it to use.
So to get the number, we use a rolling average. This just helps smooth out any weird spikes or dips. Usually, you look at the last 3 sprints. So let's say your team did 30 points, then 25, then had a great sprint at 35. You just add them all up. That gives you 90. Then you divide by the number of sprints, which was 3.
And boom, there it is. The team's average velocity is 30 story points. This number is now your guide. It's not a target to beat, it's not a quota, it's just a simple reflection of what your team has proven it can do. So how do we actually use that number for forecasting? Again, super simple. You take the total size of whatever is left in your backlog. Let's say it's 150 story points. You divide that by your average velocity of 30, and the result tells you it'll probably take about 5 sprints to get it all done. See? Simple, powerful, and driven by data.
Okay, pay close attention here, because this next part is critical. Knowing how to do the math is one thing, but really understanding the rules, that's what's going to make you stand out in an interview. This is the stuff that shows you've moved beyond the textbook.
Rule number 1, and this is an absolute deal breaker. Velocity is for the team, period. The moment you start trying to figure out an individual's velocity, or worse, compare developers against each other, you've broken it. You've turned a useful tool into a weapon that just kills morale. Don't do it.
Rule number 2, only count what is 100% done. I'm serious. If a story is 99% finished at the end of the sprint, it counts for 0 points toward that sprint's velocity. No partial credit. It's all or nothing. This rule keeps everyone honest and ensures the metric is reflecting real, completed value. And just a few more really important rules. Always use that rolling average, right? It keeps you from freaking out over one bad sprint. If someone joins or leaves the team, you gotta hit reset. The old data isn't really valid anymore. And never, ever, ever tie velocity to bonuses or punishments. And finally, try to keep your story point estimation consistent. It's less about the exact numbers and more about them being consistent relative to each other.
Okay, let's put it all together. You're in the interview, you're feeling good, and then they start hitting you with the tough questions.
Here's how you can knock them out of the park. This is a classic. It's a total test. They want to see if you really get what story points are all about. So what do you say?
The answer should be a clear, confident, and immediate no. And then you explain why. Story points are relative, and they're unique to each team. Team A's 5-point story is completely different from Team B's 5-point story. So comparing their velocities isn't just meaningless, it's actually damaging. It creates competition where you need collaboration. It's like comparing apples and, well, oranges.
Here's another one you'll probably hear. A velocity that's all over the place is usually a symptom of a problem. They want to know if you can play detective and figure it out.
Your answer here should show that you're a methodical problem solver. You break it down. First, you investigate. You ask questions. Is it scope creep? Is the team getting slammed with unplanned work? Is there a lot of technical debt? Then you address whatever the root cause is. Maybe you need better backlog refinement, or maybe you need to do a better job protecting the sprint. And finally, you work to stabilize things, using that moving average to keep your forecast realistic while the team adjusts.
And hey, if you really want to impress them, have a specific example ready, using the STAR method. Situation, our velocity tanked. Action, we dug into it in our retrospective, found the problems, and put a new process in place. Result, our velocity stabilized and everyone felt more confident in our forecasts. An answer like that, that's what hiring managers love to hear.
So let's just leave you with this final thought. Velocity is an amazing tool. It's fantastic for answering the question, how much can we do? But what it can tell you is the most important thing of all. Are we doing the right thing? Answering that why, well, that comes from great product ownership and actually measuring outcomes, not just output. And that's a whole other topic for another day.